Alright, I sit at the spot beneath the stairs and finally have the desert enclosure done for the Uromastyx that I'm getting for my son for Christmas. There's a lot of rocks in here. I know a lot of people say to not use rocks, or at least not too much because of possible cracking on the bottom, but I have negative pressure coming up from the bottom in the form of a fitted board that goes around the bottom part. Not saying that cracking can't happen, but hopefully that alleviates the possibility. Lights, got the big, it was ReptiSun, no, Zoomed, Repti Basking Spot Lamp. Gets the basking area to up to 125 degrees, and then around the outsides of the rock it's in the 120s. But it's a nice consistent temperature. We'll see if I have to get a little stronger. Kind of a janky setup right now. It's solid, but I have a lamp stand coming in that hangs over the top. The aloe will not stay in there. I'm just giving it some extra warmth and sun. I'm going to grow that as food, so I don't have to buy any. So then in terms of lights, have the grow light there closest to us in the can. That's powering this Crassus and the Ogre's Ear Jade. And then in the back we have the UVB, which stretches for about, I don't know, 2/3 to 3/4 of the enclosure. And then also I have another here, I forget what exactly is in there. One of them is the compact fluorescent, which I've heard doesn't do a lot for UVB, but it can't hurt. I've already got the big light in the back, so this is sort of the secondary basking rock on the cool side. So this adds a little ambient heat in that little blue bulb there, and then it gets a little extra UVB from the compact fluorescent. I obviously painted the back and side walls blue. I feel like that helps trap the light in a little better. Made it a little brighter in there. Replicates the sky, sort of. I'm not going to pretend like I tried really hard and it looks really good, but it looks like the sky, I imagine, to a reptile. So, hopefully that. Oh, and then also possibly, heat with the extra light reflection coming in, giving a little more maybe basking light over here and things like that. I don't know if it actually works that way, but logic seems to match that, I guess. So anyway, basking area is basically this grayish rock here on the top. We got the big sort of brainy cool rock in the back, backing that up. And some layers here, the big rock at the bottom, sort of the base of the whole visible part of the foundation. And then this little bridge my son designed, which is super cool and super stable. Got a big horizontal rock here, sort of another basking rock. And then this big one. All very cool looking rocks. We did sort of the background there. I don't mean, it kind of looks like mountains a little bit. And then just sort of some accent rocks here and there. All of these were gathered from hikes and excursions down to rivers and stuff like that. But yeah, didn't pay $1 single for any of these rocks. or the substrate, which is a mixture of a kind of topsoil that I had going for a while for like tub gardens, and then some play sand, a little bit of clay, and then a lot of this like smooth gravelly rock, which also was field collected. That's sort of built in, except in the areas for the hides. And since we're mentioning that, I have 3 main lower areas. This will be for a juvenile. Obviously, when it gets older, I'll need a bigger enclosure. Or I shouldn't say juvenile, it's a baby. I don't have it yet, so I don't exactly know what it looks like. But anyway, there's a hide down there. It actually extends the entire way back underneath all of this. You can kind of see the rock that supports it there. That kind of hangs over it. You can see a little better there. And there's space for the lizard to dig. It's sort of like a tight, what would you call it? A tight crawl space right now. So there'll be plenty of room to sort of kick some of that out and make it fit. There's another one you can't really see from here, so let's open this up. Oh, this is a Exoterra. I think it's a 40-gallon I got from a friend for pretty cheap. Again, it's not the permanent enclosure, but it's a decent size for a baby. And I don't know, I feel like it kind of works. Down there is another hide. Again, plenty of space to dig. That extends all the way back around this rock, underneath here, around the bottom of this, and into this area. So a pretty deep, could call it like a burrow, I guess, or could be turned into that. Again, I don't know how big exactly the lizard is going to be, so we'll see how big the Uromastyx is when it gets here and which ones of these it fits best. But speaking of which, this is the largest. This literally goes all the way back around in this area underneath this rock. It's a huge cave, but still fairly tight. Probably, maybe when it gets here, if it is as small as I imagine it's going to be, it will fit fairly well. Maybe not have to dig it out, but as time passes, there's room for that to happen. All of these caves are supported by rocks. So, this one has a large rock underneath here, another over here, another in the back on the other side, and then another straight below my finger all the way down underneath this. Similarly, this one has a support system of rocks, and this one has 5 rocks underneath it, all shifted and moved just so that it sits right. There's no way this thing is moving, or any of these are moving. They obviously have a ton of weight on them. I wanted to make sure that was no possibility. It would be tragic to lose a Uromastyx in, by getting crushed by rocks. That would just be so sad, and I would feel terrible. So now I do have other hides higher up. There's a nice little cave system under this large rock, and goes back around here. This rock sort of protects the visible view of there, but it goes all the way back around and up to the wall, which I did not paint blue because I didn't think that would feel natural. So it's just sort of the clear, and it sees whatever that is, the baseboard, which probably looks more natural. Excuse me. Then also there is one, you can kind of see goes through there and then comes out the back. See my hand kind of coming under there. So that is another hide that it could use. And then also back in here, there are lots of small spaces to climb through this area, get behind this big rock, which of course also will not move. And yeah, even down here, again, depending on how small it is, it could possibly fit into there as another hide. So probably, this is going to be a bit of a humid hide. I haven't designed it that way yet, but this will probably be the humid hide. There's plenty of dry hides up here. There's tons of dry hides over there, a selection to choose from. I'm hoping that it will choose a favorite and sort of make it home, but we'll see. It'd be kind of fun if it used them all, since it took a while to design and build them all. Other than that, there's a little bit of timothy grass everywhere, lentils, millet seed, just for when it gets here, if it wants to munch on something right away. The light's going to be going, everything's going to be ready tomorrow before noon. I cannot wait. Here we go.